10 to 12. Probably need about 12.
Okay, and we use our knife?
You can use the knife or the skewer.
Oh, okay.
All right. And just lay it on there. And just like you do sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Your heart.
Put them close enough together so you make sure you get the 12.
Okay.
On your plate.
Yeah, well, I understand that. It's like patterns.
Normally I do it with cookie cutters, but I didn't have enough to send out to everybody.
Smaller piece. 1, 2,
3.
Getting it back off.
I want something sharper.
Are there any questions?
I need you to show the pinching again now that you're up on the
Okay.
screen bigger.
All right. My water. Just wet your fingers a little bit. And say from the top of the heart down. Just kind of pinch it and squeeze it. You don't want to make it too thin.
Shh, don't talk to me. No. It's not that. It's not that.
All right.
Wait, shh, it's on Studio C. Really good.
So as you can see, it's thicker up at this end and then thin down to the bottom.
How many do we need to do?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were supposed to move this paper, but
So once you get enough of them together,
how many?
It doesn't matter that the paper is sticking to it?
no, as it dries, you'll be able to peel it off.
Okay.
Although, I'm trying to think. Once you do the pinching part of it, if I have any tension, all right, we're going to kind of fold it in half like this, and then flip it over.
You gotta watch this part.
So it's kind of like a butterfly. And that's what you pedal.
Most of these out. I know. I just want the method of getting one. She's showing us.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, how many of these are we gonna be doing?
At least 12. I'd say 10 to 12, but oh, I should have showed you what I made. There we go.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I'm
All right.
only gonna get about 9 out of my piece.
Yes.
Okay, well, you might have extra clay from when we do the center part. So what we can do, if you want to leave your leaves off to the side, now with this we don't need to smooth out the texture because we're going to add more texture to it. Cut out your circle. And then whatever clay you have, you can make it into.
I'm still cutting out my hearts.
That's all right.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you have enough for the center.
Yeah.
And then continue with the hearts.
Plate on the paper.
If your clay feels like it's starting to dry out a little bit, wet your fingers. And that'll add some moisture back into the clay. So you're going to do the hump and then flip it over.
I don't have enough.
1, 2.
Can I make a smaller center to make sure I have enough room for the hearts?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Did that. I just went and got a bowl.
I thought I put enough clay in.
Well, I used a smaller heart pattern, I guess.
If you run out of clay, keep your clay in the plastic. And when you come back here to the shop, we can, I can get more clay for you. We can finish it up with you. I had help putting the packages together, so hopefully we didn't short everybody.
If you do that, you'll have really big leaves.
Or the library might have extra kits.
Because we need to cut out 12 of these.
They don't have to be perfect hearts. Like this one has a little curly Q. You know, you look at flowers, they're not all the same. Gives it a little more personality. You can see the difference. So they give a little curls and whatever.
Oh, there. Okay, there you go. You're all muted.
Now there is another piece that's going to be added to this that you do not have. When you bring your piece into me, that's when we're going to attach it. Because I didn't think it would hold up being transported to you.
The stem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make that with an extruder and started making them. And I thought if I put them in the bag, they're going to collapse. So I figured when you bring your piece to the shop, we can attach it then.
Sounds good.
Then if you decide to make more flowers, you can get more clay.
Thank you for putting all these things together for us.
Yes, this is amazing.
You're welcome.
And how do you come up with these ideas, Arline?
Some things I come up with, you know, my imagination. Others I go to Pinterest and get ideas. And then I change it a little bit so that it's more my own design than somebody else's. Pinterest is a good place to get ideas from.
Sure.
Are we, Arlene, are we cutting the bottom part of the circle of the plate or the top bigger circumference?
You're going to turn the plate upside down and lay it down, cut it like that.
Okay.
You know, if you are a little short of clay, you can cut it in a little bit further. Because what we're going to do is lay this over top. So
Okay.
you can make it smaller.
Okay.
3, 6, 9.
I got 10, and then with the leftover, if we roll it out, it should make 12.
Okay.
I have 9. I think I might get 11. I don't know. I don't know if I'll get 12, but maybe.
Yeah, we can make the circle a little smaller.
Okay.
When you're laying out the petals, you can put them how you lay it out.
No, I think you pinch. Yeah, and then, I don't know.
Yeah, I think my,
Arline, oh,
Show us
my original.
one more time, well, how we pinch it. I was cutting my hearts.
All right, on your heart, right at the top, right above the, right there, and just gently squeeze it to give you a nice edge.
you have food, buddy. Go eat your food. Yeah, I made you breakfast.
Then once it's pinched, the thickness is here. This is thinner than the back. We're going to squeeze it together, kind of like a butterfly. Fold it back, and then push down that lump. And then just smooth it off.
I'm so far behind. I've just been cutting and I think I've missed all of these little things that were.
That's all right. We will, when you're ready, I'll do another one for you.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have any cookies now.
Start shaving.
Thinner. That was the first thing to do.
Now I'm going to make my circle a little smaller.
Like, you got it, comes down and then this more of a point
3, 6, 9.
on the.
Okay.
I can do it.
No, I'm thinking, I'm the one that you're supposed to have lighter flowers.
Paper is still attached to my little petals.
All right. What you can do is wet them with the sponge, maybe wipe it off that way. Mine's not, I don't have paper on mine.
Well, because when they lay down as petals, you want them to be thin.
You can also take your knife, take that one, take it off.
Okay, I see. Thinner. Okay. Lump in the back.
This part, squeeze together so that it's not, yeah.
Now, I think the picture that was on the ad for this class, it looks like a white curtain with just a brown stain to it. If you decide you want to do that instead, we would have to fire your piece, and then you'd have to come back to stain it, and we would fire it again. But with this one, I gave you the roses, which is the yellow, and then we highlighted it with brown. Now, I fired it because I wasn't sure how much brown I put on. I think I would have liked more brown on the center.
So you put the yellow over the whole thing and then you put your brown in the center?
Yes.
After it was okay,
Yeah.
and then you fire it, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now the center of mine, I used a doily.
I'll that a lot more.
So if you happen to have anything that might be texture related, you can put that in the center, a doily. If you have a placemat that has some texture. This is where you get creative. So like I would put a doily on there. This is a placemat that I could use. Or Just use the tools that you have at hand. Take your skewer with the flat end and just kind of press it in. That'll give that seed effect. Is it something you can see? Everybody's quiet.
I'm so working.
Working,
That's
creating.
good. Well, I want to thank Kitty for inviting me to do this.
This is awesome.
Thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
We need to thank Fossil, the Friends of Samuel's Library, because they made it possible. They paid for it. So,
Wow. Who is it?
and Arlene gave us a cut rate price too. So there's, there's two.
We have other workshops here, and they're different prices depending on how complex they are. We do birdhouses. We're doing a raccoon workshop in July, hopefully.
Oh, nice.
And
How much
we
are
also-
the bird?
and
How much is it to
we
do
also
the
do
bird? I'm sorry. Go on.
the birdhouse one.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
bring my mom to do that. What would that cost if we? Love that.
If you want to go to our website, Explore Art and Play,
Everything's on there. Okay.
it was on there, but we have to reschedule it. But once we're able to start having workshops again,
Yeah.
I do want to have it.
Okay. You
So
love
I
bird-
want everybody to know that an average adult class, clay class at Kiln Doctor is $50, and one of our summer reading prizes is a $50 gift certificate to the Kiln Doctor. So those of you who sign up for the summer reading program, every book that you log, every program that you log, this is a program, or every review that you log is an entry into the weekly drawings.
Ooh.
And then you can choose which gift certificate you want. And once it's gone, it's gone. Then you have to pick one of the other gift certificates. But know
Nice.
that that's an option.
Nice.
Arlene,
Yes.
can you show one of those petals again for the thickness of how thick they get or thin?
Right. This is how thick it is.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Okay.
Okay.
It goes from the
thicker
down to
down
thin.
to thin.
Can you see that?
Pull your hands back just a little. It's too close. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. All
So
right.
the thick is at the top.
So it's thicker
At the
at the top of the heart
and
and
thinner
thinner down towards the bottom.
Did you put any texture on your leaves?
No, I
I
didn't.
didn't.
But you
You
can.
can.
See, these are the flowers. So I just
kind of left it
where you
a little bit of a crease here.
and then I
I
used paint. But you can come in
with your skewer
if you wanted to add a little more detail to it.
Okay, gotcha.
Why my petals are all different sizes. The hearts are all
That's
the
probably
same
good.
cookie. That'd be right.
Yeah, I think that'd be more interesting.
Okay.
You don't want them the same size.
Arlene, can you, I know you just did this, but explain again. So I'm going to wet my fingers and I'm going to take my heart and I'm going to start at the top and just.
Start up around this part of the heart and just gently squeeze, maybe about a half inch in and pull out.
Okay. So it gets kind of thin there at the bottom.
Right.
Oops.
Now, if these are going to be leaves for like the side of the flower,
Right.
I would come in and draw the veins. Yeah, it does. Yeah, that would definitely.
so it feels like actually going to add a leaf to it.
Okay, that's pretty.
Now, these are your flowers, so you can do whatever you want with them.
I'll keep mine. Cover my face with this. Add it to my face.
Make it like it too thin. It's more easy to break. You got. Can I see those scraps? Is it you? All right, let me keep smoothing them out.
We also sell clay, so that if this is something that you want to continue making, you can buy a 25-pound bag of clay and use my slab roller to roll your slabs out, and then you can take your pieces home and make more flowers. So I hope to see a lot of flowers around Front Royal.
Exactly.
Make great Christmas gifts, birthday gifts.
Oh, you know what? Let's do that one more.
The lady who said her clay was in pieces. How are you making out with that?
Me, I just did what you said on the paper instructions and wet,
Okay.
put little things and wet and tried to squeeze it together. So
Okay.
I kind of feel like some of my pieces might be a little weak, but luckily the plate is on one piece. It's not anything that's broken. It's just some of the hearts.
Right. See, with clay, the unpredictability of it, sometimes it dries out too quick,
Yeah.
and then it gets a little hard to work with. So if you find your clay starting to do that, just take your sponge and just gently wet it. I usually have a spray bottle in my studio here. I have everything you need. But it was a little hard getting all the kits together to send everything home.
One huge. One down with the same part.
We probably
I must
press.
have made it too thin. Okay. Yeah. I should try to make them a little bit similar size.
No, I think if they're irregular, they'll make them more intense.
3, 6, 9, 12.
How many hearts do you have?
I have 12, I think.
Their child there. Sweet.
Huh?
The child is on it. It
Yeah,
sounds like that's
I
sweet.
noticed yesterday. I made you breakfast.
We have a little one visiting us.
Yeah, she's helping.
That's okay. We do it before the pandemic hit. We had a kids' play cup where every Tuesday the kids came in and they got to make different projects.
Oh.
Okay. How's everybody coming up with their leaves or their petals?
Getting there.
I'm still picking off paper.
Oh. Well, the main place to use to take the paper off is where we're going to attach it, and that's at the top of the heart on the back.
Excuse me, you're breaking up on me. You're all gribbly.
Let's see. Maybe it's the volume. Is that better? If you have paper on the back of your leaves, right here, where the heart comes together, just this portion here is where we're going to attach it to the side. So you don't have to take it all the way off of all the paper.
Arlene, try talking now for a second. I muted one of your cameras or one of your audios, and that may help with the echo people are hearing.
All right, can everybody hear me now?
Yeah, that's much better.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that until there started being a problem, an echo.
Yeah. So I now know the host has to mute one of them.
Yeah, that's on me.
Well, how are you making out with your flower, Kitty?
I decided to make it after.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing. My audio is terrible, and so I'm on the phone, so I only have one hand. I should have put it on speaker.
Ah, okay.
But that's okay because I have a kit for my daughter too, so we'll do it together.
There you go.
Oh, that's even better.
What am I hearing? What happened to the water? It leaked? What happened? It's broken.
Okay.
And if you place the plate so you have room, like I'm gonna do another.
Oh, yeah, I
Pick up that
see.
extra part.
Makes sense.
And maybe as we get towards the end, people can show their pictures. Well,
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Why
I
are you
just
laughing?
made people nervous.
Ah,
Well, we've got a lot of uneven petals here, but my artist friend tells me that'll make it more.
okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, good.
Okay. If you look at my petals, they're all different shapes.
Yeah.
Some are bent up, some are bent back a little bit. You know.
Right. Au nature.
Right.
Good. That's what I like. Nature's variance.
If these were all the same, it would look manufactured.
Yeah. We don't want it to look fake.
And how do you, so I'm just working on making the markings on my leaves, but then what do we do to pinch them together? Mine feel kind of thick in the center, is that right?
That's okay. What you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it over like a butterfly and
Okay.
then pinch this,
Oh, okay,
all right? And then you're gonna smooth that hump of clay down
okay.
Really crooked and all.
like that.
Gonna just literally pinch it,
Right. Pinch it together
okay,
and then smooth it down.
okay.
Yeah, I see. I didn't do what you said. I see what you mean now. I get it. Mhm. Hmm.
Arlene, can you show one of the backs of the petals now? Finally got a petal. Okay, oh, really smooth. Oh, all right.
Well, you're not really gonna, it doesn't have to be really smooth because what we're gonna do is we're gonna score it with the fork, add some water to it. Same on the side here. And this is where we're gonna attach our flowers, our petals.
Oh,
So it doesn't have to be perfect. One of the things with this particular flower, you can use it as a wall plaque. This one I did as a wall plaque. So that you take 2 holes. If you have a straw handy, see where I have the 2 holes? And then I'll put twine in the back so that I can hang it up on the wall.
And you might want to do that since you don't have a yard.
Mommy would definitely
I will go.
take stuff out of this.
Not really, because we're not gonna take it inside.
And these flowers, you can make them as big as a paper plate, or you can get a smaller paper plate and do it. Make all different sizes.
Could you put this in your garden?
Yes.
Okay.
I would bring it in at winter time though.
Okay.
Yeah, smooth all the backs.
Now, is there anybody finished with their petals yet, or?
Oh my goodness, no.
Okay.
I am, but they
Maybe next week.
That's how I feel.
Well, and even with, once this is over, if you're not done, you can still work on it.
Yeah.
I would recommend using plastic, excuse me, to cover it when you're not working on it. And it'll keep it moist for you. Because right now I can feel my leaves are starting to dry out. You can use a wet paper towel or an old rag to keep them moist. It's not paper towels.
Not paper towel, man. The first time.
I made stuff the other day and it wasn't drying out quick enough. Now that I want them to stay moist, they're drying out.
So Arlene, when they get done, they're going to need to get them fired. Do you want them to drop them off to you or to us and then we get them to you? What's better?
I would prefer them to bring them to me because that way we can add the tube to the back if they want it for on a stick. Those who want it on a stick, this is what we're making. It's an actual tube that I extruded out of an extruder, and we'll attach it to the backs of our piece like that.
Oh, cool.
Okay, and then what does that do? Oh, then you can put it in the ground?
Yep.
Yes.
And then I'll have 3-foot wooden dowels for you that you put it up inside. And that way it'll stand like that.
Oh, I love that.
So depending on what you want done, whether you want it as a hanger or as a garden ornament. But this is the piece that I was afraid that would end up getting damaged when you took it home. So just give me a call when you're bringing it in. I'll have these ready and made, and we can attach them to it. Then I'll fire them, and they'll get all beautiful for you.
Okay.
Today, I think.
Does do we have to get all the paper off for you, or will that burn off?
No, that'll burn off. I'm just worried about where you're going to attach the back here to the actual plate. Okay. For the center, if you've already added your texture, what we're going to do is turn the paper plate upside down and lay it over top, and then just gently push your sides down.
Oh my gosh, I did it so completely wrong. I didn't put it over the paper plate. I'm a goof. I just didn't watch that, I guess.
No, you're fine with that.
But I can still lay it over my plate.
Are you able to put it on the plate now, or?
Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, I'm such a goof.
I just added Arlene's information in the chat box, but I'll email it to everybody as well.
Yeah, if you have any questions, just give me a call or email me or even message me on Facebook, and I'll gladly walk you through whatever you need to do.
Okay, so this is going to dry on top of here? Is that what we're going to do? Okay.
Well, I don't want you to let it go bone dry at this point, because we want to be able to attach the tube on the back. So right now mine's starting to dry, so I want to make sure it fits over the plate. And then you'll get to paint this before you bring it back to me.
Okay. So what do you want me to do to keep it?
If you have some grocery bags, dry cleaner bags, something to keep it inside.
And actually, they have, will the plastic that we had it in work?
It'll be bigger than the plastic. With the petals
Okay.
on, it's bigger. So
Okay.
even if you use a trash bag, kind of put it inside and seal it so it doesn't dry out completely. But if it does, we can still make it work. It's just a little easier doing it this way.
I'm ready to start attaching petals.
Okay, once we
Is
start
it a slip?
you can
slip
just do
neck?
water. If you have your little container of water and your sponge,
Mhm.
all right, you're going to scratch the back end of the petal. Scratch where you're going to put it. This is called slipping and scoring, although we're just using water. My sponge is a little wet. And lay it in place.
I have no idea what.
But score both sides.
Yes, where you're attaching it to, you want it to score.
Okay.
This is where you want to bring your petals up a little bit, so you can give it a little bit of an attitude. But I'd lay your hearts around so you can get an idea of where you want to attach them.
Doesn't have a hole in it. Give us a little-
Yes.
Oh, I have extra hearts. Anybody need one?
Send it right on in.
Okay. There we go. That's what I said. It's usually between 10 and 12. So as I laid them around, and then I'll just pick them up and score them and attach them. Does anybody else have any questions?
Can they overlap?
Yes.
And then just score the leaf below that you're gonna put it on?
Yep. You're going to place it right on the rim.
Okay, gotcha.
But we're supposed to do the texture on the other side first, right?
The side that's going to show up is where you want the texture. I mean, you can put that in afterwards too, but if you want to start working on your petals.
Okay.
Josh.
Okay.
Arline, can you remind us again how to do the texture? You had pulled a doily or something.
Yeah, there's different things you can use. If you have doilies that you can roll into it, you can just press it in, or this is a placemat. I think I got this at Walmart, it's at the dollar store. But the one I did today is I used the back end of the skewer and just kind of pressed into it. And I'll lift it up so you can kind of see what.
I just used a pine cone.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
Oh, a pine cone. That's a great idea. That's cool. Can we use our face?
Go for it, and I want to see it.
Coronavirus quarantine.
Yes.
Well, you can also get creative with this part. If you want to put a nose and a mouth on here and eyes, or even a little bumblebee, make a bumblebee.
Oh, I like that.
I'll just make we went home last night and there was one of those giant wasp looking things. And Mike goes, that's not the killer bee.
Thank goodness.
You need to get it out of the garage before I get out of the truck. I'm not severely allergic to them, but to bee stings. But a couple years ago, one of those large yellow wasps bit me and kept biting. He was a mean one.
Just show. Push down in and sort of make an indentation.
So there, that's my little bee. He's not going to work.
The texture.
Make little teardrops for his wings.
This is so beautiful. Even with my inexperience. These are going to be
This
really
is the hard part. I like watching people work. But I can tell you, I've learned some of the best techniques from beginners. There's my little bumblebee.
Oh. Cute.
All right.
You can put a dragonfly.
Got it. Got it.
That's why I like clay. I can do just about anything I want.
When we're putting texture into the center, is there something that's too deep? I mean, I really like
All the way through. You're just adding a little bit of detail there. Like if you're going to use that wooden skewer, which here it is, I'd only go maybe down a little bit where it was my camera here, just a little bit. You can
the
see
picture that was on the website or wherever. It looks like the center is very deeply textured, and I wondered how you did that.
that one, I think they used a different type of like a texture mat,
You also take the end.
and
That's what
I'm
she's.
not exactly sure.
Okay, because I really liked all that texture, and I wondered how to get it.
I'd have to look at the picture. You can also use the end of a fork, where you can take several of the skewers together and kind of do it. I would probably go a little thicker for the center if you're going to put the deeper texture.
Okay.
So you would need more clay.
Well, I've got bits and pieces here.
Okay.
And I can I roll it out with like a pastry roller?
Yes.
Okay.
Or a rolling pin. If you end up deciding that you want to continue with clay, I would recommend you make a box of different, go to the flea market, get a rolling pin, get some forks. There's pickle forks are great for creating texture and also scoring your pieces. Oh, lost his wing.
Where's my?
Once you start making things, when I go to a kitchen store now, it's not to buy kitchen stuff, it's to buy texture or tools.
I'm gonna find something. This is extra.
Where's mine?
Hello. So how's everybody surviving?
Good.
Can't be too bad if we get to do fun things like this.
I know.
Yeah.
My very first live video was in the beginning of this. There's a national clay conference that was supposed to be in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, I saw that post you did.
And I really wanted to go to it. But because of the pandemic, they set it up so we could do actual classes. I think they had over 50 potters and artists that did different things, and I was able to participate. So that was my very first one.
Neat.
This is my very first Zoom one.
Okay, so now you want to go to the back of it.
Why do I?
Because you're going to attach it on the back. Like she's doing. This I'll show later. So now you want to just go back.
Do I do these?
Not the whole thing. Okay. Or is it the front? Maybe it is the front.
That is the front. It's the front, Mommy.
Okay.
You even said it.
I love working with potters of all ages.
All right, if you guys don't mind, I have a question, and I'm gonna have to show you to see if you can tell me if I'm doing this too thick.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm gonna turn on my video.
And I'm going to spotlight you. There you go.
I tucked a leaf underneath the other ones because my leaves ended up being big. Is that gonna be too thick?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. If I smooth out the edges, will it help it adhere? I scored it, but if I
Yeah.
smooth, will it be of any benefit?
You can just take your fingers with smoothing it out, and then there's a couple rough edges on here, but where it's attached, you might even want to trim it a little bit so it's not as thick.
Okay.
Right?
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll turn mine back up.
Did anybody else want to show theirs?
I'm afraid to lift it.
Paper plates are pretty strong, so.
See.
I guess I could angle the camera.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta do more than that. No, 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 no.
Melody, do you want to turn on your video?
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe I can. Let's see.
Oh, I do ask that when you bring the pieces back, they bring back my brushes.
There we go. Your brushes. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And your picks, or?
You can, they're not necessary, but the brushes are the main thing.
Okay.
All right, so.
Okay, we're going to look at it, Melody.
Okay. Here we go. Can you see it?
We can see it.
You know, if you click
There
on
we go.
Good.
Okay.
The edges of the petals to kind of bring them up a little bit.
Okay. I can do that.
I like the lines.
Oh, thanks.
which one is she? That one.
What's another, doing cross hatching across it with the plaid would be even nice in the center.
Make sure
Let me just try to
So, like, use the fork for your cross hatching. That would be nice in the
Oh,
center.
that's pretty.
Yeah.
And you put Arline back in the middle?
Yeah.
All I
We
have
lost
is an eyeball. And
We
somebody,
lost Arline.
I'm here.
well,
I mean, on the video.
on the video, all we see is somebody with a book.
Ah, that's
Oh,
me.
yeah, the main screen.
Arlene, I had a question. Is that you put the texture side down before you attach the leaves? Is that?
No, the
No.
texture's up. The texture's facing up.
Okay. Thank you.
and is it still?
Okay. See, I get the paper plate, and then I laid it down and pressed it down over the bottom, and then added the leaves to it. I'll show you on this one, the back of it.
Yeah.
So this is the actual plate portion here, and then the leaves are attached.
Did you put Arline back in the middle yet?
Yeah,
Kitty.
Kitty, you have me pinned.
Oh,
Hit
I
speaker.
thought see on here it says I have, what I'm seeing is Arline.
No, I just see.
I'm seeing
No, I
is-
see
I
me.
wonder if other people have to pin it.
No, we didn't last time.
Hi.
Hi.
It's still me.
Speaker
Hi.
view. Whoever's controlling
It
it.
says I've got her pinned. You may have to, do you see the three dots up at the top?
I don't
You
have
click
that on.
spotlight video.
Oh, there we go.
Do y'all have
Now
it
we
now?
got it.
She's back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, so there's a difference between pin and spotlight. See, you're teaching me.
We have learned a lot in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, I'm being brought into the right century.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I created an online store for my pottery. I learned how to do YouTube, so I have videos up on YouTube now, and now doing live Zoom.
I'm just
But-
happy
Got
I
it.
figured out how to get the gallery on.
The what?
I said I was just happy to figure out how to get the gallery on.
Yes. Oh, I know.
We did a birthday party for my, oh, I got an extra leaf.
Can you show us one more time how to put the leaves on? We're about ready to put our leaves on now.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's off.
Yep.
All right, you're gonna score the back of the leaf here, down at where the peak of the heart is. You're gonna score where you're gonna place it. And then take your little sponge with water on it and wet the section. If I can flip this around. All right, and then we're just gonna attach it. Press down in the center first and then come around.
Oh, thank you. That's great.
All right, and this is where you want to bend up your leaves a little bit or twist them. I keep calling them leaves, the petals. To give your flower that attitude so that they're not just flat.
Alrighty, we'll try to get some Zoom attitude going on here.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, this will be a nice memory of coronavirus days. We'll remember making these. See them.
I belong to a Potter's Guild, and I challenged all my fellow potters. I said, the challenge is spring, a new beginning. So they have to make something that has to do with spring.
Uh-huh, cool.
And hopefully they're doing something. I haven't seen anybody post it lately, but that's something we can do here in Front Royal. I can challenge you once a month. You have to make something.
Spring.
Cool.
Whether
That's good. That's good motivation.
it can be either clay or it can be any kind of media. You know, those are.
I wrote a book.
You wrote a book?
Wow.
No, I wrote a book. I
Well,
finished it in the time that I've been stuck inside.
Cool. May we ask what the book is about?
Who
What?
wrote a book?
Me, Sydney. Hi.
Sydney. It was Sydney.
Yeah, that's
I
me.
want to read it.
What's your book about?
Oh, I went complete escapism romance, cheesy romance novel.
Oh, definitely.
fun.
I wanna read it.
Why not? There's no rules right now.
So those of you who know, a couple of you are actually in our book club, but our book club titles, we realized we had chosen really dark subjects, and nobody wants to read dark right now.
Yeah, no.
That's why I went love.
And that's a
I'm
great
all
place
for
to
love.
start.
When my children went to middle school, they had required reading. And every year there were dark books about young people, you know, dying of an illness or committing suicide and stuff. And I finally said to the person who picks these books out, I said, "You need to do other things. Life is not all doom and gloom."
Gosh.
I mean, really think about it. We think of classics as being dark, but some of the most popular classics are like Harry Potter and The Hobbit and
Swiss Family
The Wizard of
Robinson.
Oz. Like there's a bunch of them out there that are much lighter.
Yeah.
Swiss Family Robinson, Secret Garden.
Yeah. I mean, you do want a challenge.
Right.
You know, there's got to be some tension to make it good, but I want a happy ending.
The first book that I read or tried to read when I was, I guess, in 7th grade was A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah, so I read that in high school. That's a big one for 7th grade.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I was one that went to find the biggest books in the library because I love to read.
Yeah.
And I just got into it. But that year in school, our English teacher, that was the book that she chose. And she just made it so exciting.
Stop. Shush. Shush. I'm sorry. Let me find my mute button. Sorry.
He just wants to tell us about his favorite book.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
So, but she made it like when they talked about the heads will roll, and and it was like you actually saw it the way she taught it. And it was really cool. So it's one of my favorite books.
I love Shakespeare too. I had an amazing Shakespeare teacher in high school, and he made Shakespeare just come to life and made it so exciting.
Yep.
His name was Dr. George, and he was such a character. Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
Even the kids who didn't like school loved him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the teacher that makes the difference.
Yeah.
It does.
I hated Shakespeare until I saw it performed, and then I loved it.
Yeah.
But I did not like it in school.
Yeah, it's really the teacher. He just made it so exciting, and he made everybody read, be the characters, and
Mm-hmm.
To no one's surprise, I preferred Poe. So apparently
Hey,
my
that's
dark
dark.
side, it's firmly cemented.
My youngest daughter has the dark side.
You got to feed it, or it gets out of control.
Yep. Well, growing up, I loved horror movies and stuff like that, but
not me.
I got to a point where I watched the movie Carrie, and that did me in. And I never watched Freddy Krueger.
Oh.
No, I couldn't get into that.
I watched one in college, went with friends in college. It literally traumatized me. Like, I came out of the movie theater shaking. I don't like scary stuff.
Give me the blob.
My husband learned about the warpness of my family when he learned that I was in single digits, and when I first saw Freddy Krueger and loved it.
Oh, my word.
Weird.
Yeah. That's what my youngest daughter is. Well, she now does, she creates monsters over at Darkwood Manor in Luray for the haunted house.
Oh, nice.
She's one of their creators over there and makeup artists.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, her birthday's September 1st, but everybody used to be on vacation. So we switched her birthday to Halloween. Every Halloween, she had a birthday party. Our yard was filled with tents with gypsies and ghosts and everything.
In
So,
our
yes.
house, that's what we called a religious holiday. I was like, I don't care about Christmas and so on. Halloween's my time. That's mommy's day. I don't care about my birthday. Halloween.
That's her holiday.
I'm with her.
My youngest son and his lovely wife are also the same way. They met at Darkwood Manor.
Oh, my goodness.
They got married December 29th, a year ago. And their theme was A Night Before Christmas, Nightmare Before Christmas. So it was pretty cool. I mean, she did wear a beautiful white dress and he had his nice tux, but the decorations were skeletons dressed up as brides and grooms. And we had black trees with purple lights, and it was really cool.
I love it.
Sounds cool.
I told them they couldn't have blood and gore, so anything.
If they ever get remarried, I want an invite.
Okay.
I'll bring a big gift.
We had a mural of Jack and Sally on the moon, the black and white moon. So I had a mural picture taking for that. If you go on to my personal Facebook page, you'll see there's a whole album of their wedding.
Oh,
so
I'll have to go check
weren't
it
you
out.
creating a dish set for them? Wasn't that on the video I saw?
Yep, I'm working on a set of dishes. They want them black and white, and the center is a skull with roses.
It was really cool.
So I'm getting ready to finish up at least the dinner plates for them. Hopefully I'll have dinner plates and mugs for them. We're supposed to go visit them in September in Hawaii, but depending on what happens here, so I might end up having to send them to them instead. But yeah, my kids like to challenge me.
Isn't that what they're supposed to do?
No, I'm supposed to challenge them.
Oh. Well, then I'm doing it wrong.
Well, their friends used to call me super mom, and I said, I'm not a super mom. I just do what needs to get done, and that's that. And my daughter was making some of the headpieces for masks, and there was a superwoman there. And I says, I want one of those. And she says, Mom, you don't like being called superwoman. I said, back then, but now I do.
You've matured.
Yes, yes. No, it's just when people say they don't have time to do something, I made the time when it came for my kids. No matter what they were involved in, I was there for them. Between sports, piano, dance, theater, making costumes, we were there. So does anybody have any questions or need help with anything?
No.
Everybody's
I
quiet.
guess, do we have to let it dry before we paint it, or when is the painting part come
No,
in?
we can start painting that now.
Oh, okay.
If you're ready for it.
No, I just want to know about painting. I'm not going to be ready, but I need to know.
What's the dry texture before we bring it in? Like, if we bring it in, is that too soon?
If you bring it in when?
This afternoon?
No, it's not too soon. Matter of fact, once you paint it, because I would like it still to be somewhat still moist so that we can attach the dowel holder to.
Okay.
So I gave you a fan brush. All right, you're going to take your paint and you're going to put it on like you're icing a cake. So you're going to put it on there. Now, if mine has all these little divots, so I'm going to have to get down inside of them. But I'm just going to spread it on there. Just like that. Now you're going to do 3 coats, 2 to 3 coats. You want to put it on thick. How thick you put it on. These will be one-time fired. So once they're glazed, I can put them in, and they're dry enough, I can put them in the kiln.
So if you're adding brown accents, how long do you wait for the yellow to?
Well, right now, this is the first coat, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'll put in put another coat of yellow, and then I'll come in with the brown.
Like 5-10 minutes? Or
Once
just
it,
till
starts, once it starts looking chalky,
okay.
so it depends on the moisture in your house.
Okay.
There's days in here in the shop that it dries really quick, and then there are days when it's like, all right, I need to get the hairdryer.
Gotcha.
If you want your center to be really brown, do you still put the yellow underneath?
I would do at least 1 coat of the yellow in the center and then come in with the brown. With this one, I'm going to add more brown to it. I do want it darker. Just come in like that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And did you say earlier there was an option for a different color?
Well, I think the picture that's on that was posted, it was more of a stain. And what it is I'll have to fire it in the bisque first, and then you come back, and then we'll just we paint a stain on there, and you wipe it off, so the color will go down into all the grooves, and then we'll clear coat it and then fire it again. But if you do want other colors, you bring it in, and I can give you more colors. We have all different kinds of colors here, orange, and if you want a purple sunflower, or let's see, where's that sun?
Gotcha.
Sun. You start painting, okay? She's painting. You guys are painting.
See, this one was done with yellow and orange.
Oh, cute.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
But I figured with the sunflower, you wanted to go more yellow or, but if you
Yellow.
want to put orange on there, just let me know and we can put some together for you and that way you can pick it up.
How many coats is the one that you have there?
But this one, the one
Yeah.
that's finished, that's 2 thick coats.
Okay.
Now, if you're a painter that paints on canvas, you thin it out too much, where with glazes, you want it to go on there nice and thick.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm a watercolor person. I would have painted it really thin.
That, well, it would look more watercolory. Oh, I put that on there. Like I said, you're icing a cake. You're just going to push this around, get it down in your grooves, and then just spread it out over. I found that when I tell people icing a cake, they understand it more. So you're going to load up your brush and then just come in and do that. You want to do your edges a little bit because you don't want them to look white.
Oh my.
And if you only put one coat, would it look more like just washed out?
Well, the thing of it is when you put one coat on, you'll still see the brush strokes.
Okay.
So you want to do at least 2 coats.
Okay.
If you wanted something more of a watercolor, then I would go with a different type of glaze. It's called an underglaze, and it's kind of like you're painting on canvas with that, and then you put a clear over top.
Okay.
Where with these are actual glazes. They will fire shiny.
Okay. Which I love. It's nice in the garden. It's real bright and eye-catching.
A bumblebee. Ugh. This morning I was painting irises.
Oh.
The friend of mine, I don't know if you know him, George McIntyre, apparently has an iris garden, and he's been posting pictures. So for the lady who does watercolors, you can kind of do that on.
Pretty.
Very, oh, pretty.
Yeah.
So you can kind of watercolor on, what is that, clay plaques?
Yes, they're clay tiles that I made. And these will come up a little darker because I used underglazes, but they do have a watercolor kit that you don't have to put quite as much on to get that watercolored effect.
Ah, very cool.
Now with the brown, you can kind of just come in, either brush it on or just kind of dab it so that you do have some of that yellow come through.
Oh, I want it really dark in the middle.
Okay. Well, then you might just do the whole thing brown.
Yep.
And then maybe just highlight it a little bit with yellow.
Okay. If I brought it in already painted, could I get black and put some black on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just let me know before you come. That way I can have everything ready for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
I feel like I needed to push it a little bit more on before you started glazing.
Now on the petals, there's only 1 coat on there now.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do is take a second coat on one that's a little drier so I can show you. I'm not sure if you can see this one. Putting my second coat on. Then I'm going to dip just the edge of the brush in the brown. And right where that peak is, or where the valley is.
Yep. Going with a little shading.
My plate's getting a little heavy. Can you see this one here with the brown in it? So depending on how much you add,
Will the brown get darker when you glaze it, when you fire
Yeah.
it? Or?
you can also do it around the edge a little bit. Let's see if I can lift this again. See how I did the edge as
Yeah.
well as the peak there?
Yeah.
Now, if
I
you don't get
lifted-
go ahead.
I lifted my petals up onto the back of spoons in case anybody wants to raise their petals up.
Mhm. You can also take some of the chunks of the clay, make little balls,
Yeah.
put them underneath to help hold them up. Because as you paint them, they kind of get a little soft.
Yeah.
See, these are things I don't think about until I'm
You're
actually
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use packing peanuts.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
See, if you were here in the studio, then I can grab all that stuff.
Okay. This one right?
Now you'll know that the glaze is dry once it gets chalky looking.
Okay.
And the one nice thing about glaze, if you get it on your clothes, it washes out. It's not like regular paint.
That was going to be my question because I just looked at my pants. Wait a minute.
It washes out. I used to teach classes with tempera paints and acrylics. And I always have my kids wear a big shirt or an apron of sorts because they always love them.
I didn't realize I was wiping my hands on my pants.
I've done that with my brushes. I'll go down. Next thing I know, oh.
Yeah.
When I do regular painting, I don't wear good clothes.
Now that's the beauty of watercolor.
Well, I
My
used to do-
problem with watercolor is I'm not patient and I make mud.
Watercolor has its own mind. You just let it do its thing.
Yep. Watercolors is one of my favorite mediums. But since I've started doing clay, it's just, I don't know.
It's fun to play with.
Mhm. The,
I don't think I've done clay since like 7th grade in high school, and I'm almost 70, so been a long time.
well, I did clay in high school one semester, and they made us do coil pots, and I wasn't crazy about it. I tried ceramics after I got out of high school. Didn't care for it because you can't. Back then, you couldn't tell what colors were colors until it got fired. And being an artist, you want to see what it looks like as you're painting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a lot of woodworking over the years. I made things from scratch. I cut things out and then paint them. And then I got hooked into clay. It was my saving grace.
Thanks to Miss Kitty and the Comic Con last year, I got into cosplay.
Oh, yes.
That's my new jam. You get to use all of it.
Yes. Well, like I said, my youngest daughter was into that, but I couldn't get into it. But once we did the SamaCon with what was the first one we did? It wasn't Harry Potter one, the first year I did it. And loved it. Last year we were in costume. If you get a chance to go to a Renaissance fair, go and dress up.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Plague Doctor at those for a while.
Yes. I know.
There's this year's superheroes.
Okay.
Yes, and we're actually talking about SammyCon right now. We're going to modify it because we're afraid September is going to be when we have an upsurge again of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
So what we're planning on doing is involving the whole town and doing a game that takes people downtown and doing it in the entire month of September.
Oh, that's-
So
that's
more
great.
information
Cool.
to come. We'll do a few things at the library, but we're really afraid because it's always such a crush, so many bodies, and we're afraid we're going to spread things. So we're looking at creative ways to do it, but it will happen. So
Could do
more
a
to
lot of it
come on
outside.
that.
Could do a lot of it outside and just have tents all over.
Yes, we're going to do outside. We're going to talk with Parks and Rec and see if we can do anything at the park. And we'll have a day where we encourage everybody to dress up, but we're hoping to do a scavenger hunt game that will take people downtown as well into downtown businesses. So we're working on it.
Yeah.
More to come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's superheroes, and we figure our small businesses are the superheroes in all of this. So
Exactly.
yeah. It's actually going to be DC versus Marvel. So, yeah.
Well, one of the things with this virus is I actually sat down and watched all the movies, like Black Panther, Supergirl.
Yeah.
I like these.
There you go.
Another question.
Yes.
My question is, as I've attached my leaves and I'm using my water and such, it's a little bit messy. It's kind of messed up my texture-y center a little bit. Are there any tricks for how to fix that other than just get your water and try to smooth it and then add more texture?
If it's getting muddy, you're using too much water.
Okay.
What you can do is let it sit and dry it out a little bit. You can take a hair dryer, but you don't want to thoroughly dry it, just enough to get that water off, and then come back in and do your texture again.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think,
Is that?
yeah. Very forgiving, this medium.
No, I usually have at least one, and that's the one part about teaching like this is you don't get to see when people are starting to make a mistake. I had a woman was making a vase, and she was adding all this texture and putting it together, but she kept trying to smooth it and put too much water on it, and it ended up slumping, and she couldn't understand why. And if you don't see somebody in the process of doing that, it's hard to correct it for them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just got more water than water.
Does anybody want to show where they're at?
Let's see.
Pam?
I'm seeing how I can angle my computer down. There's mine.
I'm going to spotlight you.
Yeah. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, I love the cross hatching.
That's
Very nice.
the background was done with a Lego plate of my son's.
Oh, that's awesome.
When we,
Looks good.
when you get,
And we have another one going, and it's this one over here.
Great.
Oh, I love it.
That's my daughter's.
hey Kitty, when we get to the end, you should do the gallery, have everybody put the camera on their sunflower and then do a screenshot.
Yes.
I've got my gallery on. People need to turn on their, let's see.
And this is the cotton studio.
Yes, sir. No, we're not. We're having fun.
You're having fun?
Yes.
He's like,
Mike just walked in. He's the Kiln Doctor. He thinks I play all day.
We are working hard over here.
Yes, yeah, they're starting to put up the different
The
pieces.
color of glaze that you when it
I'm sorry, I
fires,
didn't hear that.
the color of glaze that you have on the sunflower, does it fire to the color that's by your elbow?
Yes, Yes. It'll be a bright yellow like this.
Did you, Arlene, did you put the brown on the center first and then start to layer the yellow?
I did a coat of yellow first, and then I put the brown on, but you can do it either way. You can make it all brown and then just put a little bit of yellow,
Okay.
just like you did with the flowers. So say if your center is brown and you want maybe like some highlights, use the brown or the yellow.
As far as the leftover clay, can you roll it into a ball to give it back to you, or do you just want us to leave the flat pieces and put it in a bag?
I doubt that there's that much clay left over. You're welcome to keep it, and if your kids want to make something out of it, we can fire it for them, and then they can paint it with acrylics.
That might be dangerous.
But if you have enough, make a small flower. Just make a like a little. Use the cup to make your center, and then make little petals to go around it. Hello.
Arlene,
Yes.
do you do the underside of your leaves? I've kind of done some of the undersides.
I didn't on the original one because this is a wall plaque.
Okay.
If you have enough glaze and you want to do the back part here, I would. Just don't do the rim of the plate because that's what it's going to sit on in the kiln.
Okay, so how do I do that though? I wait till this dries?
Yeah, let it firm up. Because right now, because of the glaze being on there, it's I had to prop my leaves up because they were starting to droop.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I've done the whole top part.
Yeah. So, but I mean, you can catch the, like on this one where it's up a little bit.
Yeah.
See how the white's there? You can kind of paint that up if you
Okay,
want.
that's what I was kind of doing. I just didn't know.
Right.
Okay.
Work must have a board and we'll stand them on a board, you know? Arlene, how do we transport these and what are your hours and?
All right, our store hours are 9 to 12 this week. But I'm usually in the studio in the afternoon. So just give me a call and let me know when you want to drop it by. And
If you go to the chat box, I think I put it in there.
Okay.
And I'll send an email out as well.
And I also need to know so I can make sure your tube is ready for you too. So that way we can attach it to the back.
Can I ask again? So I've just painted my whole thing.
Okay.
And I, in order to transport it, I'm gonna, I guess, slide it on some cardboard or something.
Put it on a piece of cardboard. What I'm using here is a piece of drywall.
Okay.
If you have some
Cookie tray.
A cookie tray would be fine too.
And then do you want me to cover it? If the paint dries?
Let it dry completely first. And then put some plastic. If you put it on a cookie sheet, just wrap the plastic up and around it. Because I want it to I don't want to be too soft, but I want to be able to flip it over so we can attach the back.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right. I have to go, everybody. It's been amazing, but I have to get back to work. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for participating.
Yes.
Thank you. How do I close out of here?
I think you can just exit.
Oh, I see. Leave. Okay. Thanks, everybody. God bless. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
You too.
God bless.
Anybody else have any other questions or?
Good.
Our website is Explore Art and Clay on Facebook, and as well as our website is www.theexploreartandclay, and we're also on Facebook.
And you give us your phone number?
Yes, it's 540-636-6016. And if you know where the new Domino's is on 8th and Warren, or Commerce and Warren, we're across the street from them.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Arlene, I have one more question, please. This is Meg. This is
I'm trying to break up.
This is Meg. My first project in clay. Thank you so much for my first project. Can you remind us where little pole if you hang it in your home.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. On the plate part of it,
Yep.
if you can kind of move your petals a little bit, you can put them in there.
Okay, gotcha. How
Right.
big? How big?
I use a straw. A straw is the perfect size for the holes.
Okay.
What I'll use is some twine on the back so that I can hang this. And then those who are going to use the pole, that'll get attached to the back here, across the back of the plate. All right, and then we'll hang it like that.
This is great. I'm an author, not an artist. And this is a whole different part of my brain, one that hasn't been used much. So that's just my caveat when you see my sunflower.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Great.
But I did once live on a hippie commune where we grew a lot of sunflowers.
Sunflowers are very popular.
Yeah.
I have a young lady here who is, she throws mugs and she's, bring one of your cups over. This is Carly Amundsen. She's one of our local potters. Now she's taken the sunflower to another level.
Oh, beautiful.
Don't think I'll get there.
You will, it's practice. But she does beautiful work. And you'd be surprised at what you can do when you just take your time and
Right on.
sometimes the clay doesn't want to do what I want to do, but I usually end up coming up with something pretty nice.
So are there any more questions?
Oh, okay.
This has been great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm not sure how long this was to go, but if you have any questions, you're welcome to give me a call at the store. We can video chat, we can email, you message me through Facebook. I love helping people work on their clay projects. And like I said, if you want to make more, we have plenty of clay.
Did anybody want to show their work?
All I've got is leaves.
Well,
Yeah, we're about to go. Do you want to show everything? Oh, come on, be brave.
Well, I can, but I'm going to move the computer to do it, so you might get a little seasick.
Okay, let's see.
So let me.
For those people who are doing this, what I've done is I hooked up my cell phone for the close-up, and I have my computer, that's where you can see my face. So it was nice having the two different views.
I have an old cheap phone that, I'm too stuck with to upgrade, so I can't fit anything on mine, so you get me on the computer.
Okay, that's fine.
But let's see if we can make it work. Maybe, I don't know. Can you see it? Where's my camera? There.
There we go.
There you go.
pretty.
I love how your petals are kind of up and rounded back.
Yeah.
That was a happy accident that I'm just rolling with, and
Like I said, I usually learn from people who are doing it from the first time. They do something that I've never seen before, and I like that effect. Where
this
mine's
is
a little more
actually my second time. We did the class last year with the little ones that were on the stakes.
Yes.
I got those in my front yard.
Oh, cool.
So Trudy doesn't know I'm focusing on her. Are you? Are you going to show us? See if you can bring it down.
Okay.
Hold it.
There we go. Well, let's see.
Oh, nice.
That looks great.
I
like
like
it.
that.
Yeah, came out good.
This is my very first time I think
Yours?
I've touched clay, so it's kind of a mess. But
Oh,
you know,
I
it was fun.
love it.
No, it looks great.
I
I
made
like it.
curly cues on the
Go ahead.
on
Anyway.
the petals themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
You got to post pictures. Send, if you can, send me or Kitty pictures of your piece. And then when they were all fired up, then I'll post the pictures of the fired pieces.
Let's see. Melody?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my paint to dry, but
I'm trying to see if it, maybe we can do yours. I know Ann doesn't have it. She's going to come and get hers. Diane, should we do yours?
No, I'll pass.
You're okay? I want to see it later. When it gets done, I want pictures of them. What about John?
I think they're all just busy painting.
I think they are.
yeah.
I think they are.
Waiting for my paint to dry.
Yep, yeah. I'm watching paint dry. I put it on really thick.
Yes.
Is the
Okay.
the little girl
This
still
is John's.
Yeah. She's here.
Really nice. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I like that.
You're still painting, huh?
Hi.
Hey.
Help her.
What about Gail?
Oh, very good.
I've got just leaves at the moment.
You just have leaves?
That's it.
Good job.
There they are. There's some leaves.
Let me go back. Leaves.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There you go. Do your leaves again. Gail, can we see them again?
There they are.
They look great.
Yeah,
You
well,
got great leaves.
I had to piece and part things together, so I'm a little behind.
That's okay. I haven't even started mine, so I'm more behind than I'm more behind than anybody. But we can share them later, so we'll be good.
If you needed more clay, Kitty, do you still have more kits?
Yes, I do have some more kits.
Gail,
So,
if
and
you
the other thing I was going to say, I think maybe 5 kits. If
Okay.
any of you have like a family member that you want to share it with, you could come by and get the kit and let them use it. If they're in your home, then you're good to go. If they're not in your home, you could drop it by to them and then maybe show them via Zoom, and we'll show you how to do that. You could walk them through it like Arline just walked you through it. So we've got to be brave, guys. It's a brave new world. We can do this. So just let me know. Okay? If I shut everybody down, is it going to be sad? It's going to be sad. I feel bad.
Like I said,
Okay, I'll email out all of the contact information.
Thank you.
Arline, thank you so very much.
Thank you for doing
Thank you.
So much.
And guys,
Bye-bye.
Melody
Have a good day.
is president of the Friends.
Okay.
Please let Melody and everybody with the Friends know how much you appreciate this, because they came through with the money to make it happen, and I so appreciate it. And Arline, thank you for always giving me a cut rate price. You've been good to me. You've been good to me, and I appreciate it. So,
Arline, you have
Okay.
awesome community spirit.
yeah, the very best.
I look
So,
forward to you in person.
Kitty, can you,
Yes.
can you send us a name for the Friends so we could like send a personal email to?
yes, I'll do that. I'll do that. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.